because of Josh Allen, and
I
it's
feel
gotten a lot
bad.
of reaction.
Yeah, I feel bad.
Andy Staples, one of The Athletic, is very angry at Kay and me for Cantaloupe slander. Cantaloupe Nation is big. We talked about it because of Josh Allen. I'm bringing it up because I will pick the low-hanging fruit here as it pertains to Jimmy Garoppolo. I think you call the New England Patriots and you say, okay, do you want to go with Cam Newton this season? Do you want to draft a rookie? Or do you want to get the band back together? A guy that you know, that knows you, that you have won games with, that knows can play. And I would try to trade Jimmy Garoppolo. Shocking thing that with the move up and the idea that they're going to take this quarterback when everybody to a man, whether it be Kittle, who's told us, I swear by Jimmy, he's my quarterback, or Lynch, I think, who is still saying that he's our guy. I don't know. I think you get busy living here or get busy dying. I would really like to see them trade Jimmy Garoppolo, whether it be to the Patriots, which, again, is the low-hanging fruit, or call anyone who is in that business. You know, what is the value of him? We talk a lot about Jimmy Garoppolo's injury-prone, and he has been. I think it's kind of unfair because it's not like his injury-prone guy who runs around recklessly and takes too many hits. He's had bad luck with injuries. Matt Stafford was looked at as an injury guy and then played about 10 straight years without getting injured. I think once you have made that pickup and you're going to take the rookie, then what are we doing? Jimmy knows he's on the way out. You have this weird Alex Smith-Mahomes situation, which I don't think is tenable for someone like Garoppolo. And I think you have a time when people are looking to add quarterbacks constantly. Yeah. And you have the guy who won the NFC title, and I think it's out there. Bears, anyone, especially Patriots, name your suitor. I would like to see them move on, and apparently so would they, because we know they're taking a quarterback. Why would you keep him? To be a mentor to him?
What if you want to win a Super Bowl? I mean, don't you need another quarterback? If this Niners team is ready, isn't it sort of hard to part ways with Garoppolo? Don't you think Garoppolo maybe for this year where they are loaded in this interesting position that most teams that are loaded aren't in the draft can take the rookie for their future, but don't you still need to have a quarterback there? That's the argument.
It feels a lot like the Packers thing with Love. And if you want to win a Super Bowl, great. Then go and draft a player who's going to help you this year win a Super Bowl. We've sung all offseason about the Niners are a snake in the grass and they could win.
Great answer.
That draft pick, if they're going to keep Jimmy, then that draft pick's not helping you when you need to beat the Packers or the Bucs in the playoffs. It's frustrating to me.
Yeah, you know, I don't think you can trade Jimmy Garoppolo. I understand at some point, yes, you have to trade him. I just think the value right now, today, if we said, hey, we're going to trade Jimmy G, it's not like you're going to restart free agency. It's not like that money's going to come back on the books and we can spend it somewhere else and get better. So why try to force, if it's Mac Jones, why try to force Mac Jones out there? If it's Justin Fields, why force a young football player out there? And we don't even really know what the offseason is going to look like.
Because it's the number 3 pick in the draft, you know?
I know.
It's rare air.
But when you throw him in there, number 3 pick, number 2, number 1, it's going to be a learning curve. It just always is, no matter how talented, no matter how ready the guy is. And so, to Kay's point, if I'm the 49ers and we're trying to win now, absolutely I'm keeping Jimmy G. And I know the whole mentor thing is kind of overblown at times. I don't even know the kind of person Jimmy Garoppolo is to know if he's going to be in there mentoring a guy and teaching him all the tricks of the trade. I don't know. I just know at the end of the day, if Mac Jones is not ready to play, I don't want to have to. I don't want to have to say, hey, look, guys, I know everybody else is balling. We getting Bosa back. We ready to roll. But I'm going to put Mac Jones out there. We're going to see what we can do.
Is there any of these rookie quarterbacks going to put this team in a better position or make them more competitive to win a Super Bowl than Jimmy Garoppolo?
I don't think so.
Jimmy Garoppolo is the
just
better guy.
Because of the learning curve. And look, we're saying that, and we're saying Jimmy Garoppolo is good, not great, right? Mm-hmm. I just don't know how one of these young kids are going to respond to
year one.
The terminology, the competition, the adversity at times. It's a lot. It's a lot for any player at any position. The quarterback is just magnified tenfold. All eyes are on you. So I want to, whoever they pick, I want to give them a chance to succeed. And I think you give them the best chance to succeed by keeping Jimmy G on your roster.
Let's look at the number 2 overall pick with the Jets and what they just did. Their whole deal was like, we're starting anew. Like we're not putting Darnold with another quarterback and then saying, may the best man win and then deal with it and then have half the locker room say, well, I'm a Darnold guy and The Niners, it's a little different in that Jimmy Garoppolo is with a veteran locker room, and it's guys who have been to the Super Bowl and guys who have been through the wars with him. And I think they know the business, and I think Jimmy knows the business, that it's like, to your point, he didn't put the best year on tape last year. He was injured. Go out there, be our quarterback, take us to the promised land, and then we figure it out there as we go. The real rub on this is that the 49ers don't have the third pick. 49ers traded up from 12 to 3 and gave up 2 future first-round picks. And it's like, okay, if you're doing all of that, then what does that say in your faith in Jimmy?
Nothing. He's done. You have no faith.
That you have no
that
faith.
Pick is the future. Jimmy's gone.
Because Jimmy is not 35. And Jimmy is not Alex Smith, where it's been like, okay, well, we've done this a few times and like we've kind of hit our spot. Jimmy's 29 years old.
Yeah.
Jimmy's a young quarterback. Jimmy's still got 10 more years. And Kyle, I'll go back to your point and say, all right, I'm with Kay. I think you ride with Jimmy this year, and somehow you just keep it copacetic. And then
I don't know. I thought they were going to trade him. I don't know the deal. They need to be blown away. I can't come up with a good enough reason for them to deal him. If they keep him on the books, they can survive it.
I think in an ideal world, you keep him on the books.
Yeah.
And you have Jimmy
It's not like a
Garoppolo,
downside.
and you have this amazing situation where this young quarterback can learn and can compete and get a year under his belt. But if the Patriots call, like, I would listen, and if I'm the Patriots, why not give up that first-round pick for Garoppolo? Is that too rich? 15th overall?
So
I'm
then
doing
Cam
that
is
deal.
starting
If
and
I'm the
Jimmy's the backup,
49ers.
or is Jimmy the starter?
I think then that's a true competition, and I think Jimmy is. If you're going back and you're trading a first-round pick,
Okay.
Sounds dicey,
Patriots fans might hate the idea and all that, but like. Now the Patriots suddenly have this roster again, where it's like, wait, we're relevant again. Are they a Jimmy Garoppolo away from the Super Bowl? They might be.
I was saying keep Jimmy G because I didn't think the trade value would be sufficient. But Peter, if you're talking about throwing me a number one,
There's
the
one
15th
team.
overall,
There's one team that would value Jimmy more than others.
Jimmy, you out, brother.
There's one team that
You're
would,
right.
and
You're
what a
right.
story it would be. So I
It's
don't
such
know.
a cute thing, though. Yeah, that's why I said low-hanging fruit. Oh, we'll go back to the Pats. It seems like very convenient, very neat. Do you have a sense of the likelihood? I mean, you have a good feeling for McDaniels.
I think a first is too rich.
Yeah,
I think a second, but like if you're the Patriots, then you're like, all right, we'll go with Cam and we'll do it. But if you're the Niners, I think that's what you demand. That's what you
Yeah.
think, because they're in a good spot. As long as Jimmy doesn't become toxic
I think
to the
that's
young
important. They're in a good spot either way.
kid. Unless Jimmy's like, screw this kid.
Yeah.
I'm going to make everyone realize that I'm the quarterback, I'm the guy.
Or do you ask for a trade?
Or he goes 13-3, and you're like, what did we just do?
Do you believe John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan, who say, "Well, this is gonna get Jimmy G playing even better. We hope bringing another quarterback in there gets him going. You know, he always plays great when he has some type of pressure on him." And so, I don't know if I believe that, if they're just giving me lip service, trying to sell me on something or not. But if it does, I mean, that's what you need. You need Jimmy G playing better.
I think this is different in the sense, I brought up the Jordan Love Packers thing, wildly different. Snap for 1 second to Jordan Love. We had the situation in San Francisco where if Garoppolo starts 0-2 and he's throwing a couple picks, then it's like, we'll put the kid in, bench him. That is a nest of vipers in the locker room, too. Like, it's not the same as Rodgers never getting benched. Garoppolo has no clout there. His future poof is gone. They're getting out of the Garoppolo business. So then you get the controversy and the guys who are Garoppolo guys and the
Because there are Garoppolo guys. To your point, George Kittle's one.
Swears by him, wants to lie down in traffic for him.
They love Garoppolo.
What about
players?
What about
The
Cam
players
Newton?
love him.
People love Cam Newton. The players love him. So let's put him in that locker room. I don't want that mess if I'm in New England. You were the one that said Cam Newton can't be a backup. Jimmy Garoppolo is so much better than Cam Newton as far as dynamics go in the locker room. They're just going to be like, yeah, Jimmy's our starter. Jimmy's not going to play like badly for the first 5 weeks, and they're going to be calling for Cam or vice versa. That's a mess I wouldn't want if I'm New England. With two quarterbacks who, frankly, bad injury luck or whatever you said aside, neither of them have chosen to be or have proven that they can be healthy and available for the past 2 seasons. If I'm New England, that's where I have two quarterbacks. Do I have one situation?
And
that's
they
how I
play
feel.
totally different games. Totally different.
Who's the
games.
starting
You're talking
quarterback
about
if they
Josh
get
McDaniels
Garoppolo?
gonna have two different offenses if you bring in Jimmy G, because he's not gonna do what Cam's doing, and Cam probably can't do what Jimmy G does. And so you're talking about if that does happen,
Do they love Jimmy
you got to
Sharks,
come
do
to
you think?
Jesus moment because they're gonna have to
The
pick.
Patriots, like they love it.
Bill Belichick loves
Yeah.
him. I think that there was a lot of love there, and I think when he was traded away, that wasn't a decision made by everyone involved. It was one of those where it was like, Tom Brady wants
Him
to
out.
be the guy, and he
Yeah.
was gone. And I think there's a lot of love for Jimmy Garoppolo, not just from Belichick and from the organization, but from guys who played with him. And like, Jimmy was a really well-liked Patriot, and they traded him before he could even get a shot.
It of course matters because Jimmy gets to decide, right? If Jimmy
Got a no-trade clause.
He has a no-trade clause, which I mean, with these quarterbacks, those have been coming into play more and more. I don't want to go there. Here's my list if I'm Russell Wilson's agent. So he'll get to say, oh, I want to go back to New England. Is it if you're Jimmy, are you like, let me stick it out here, I'm a lame duck, I'm going to get replaced in a year? Or am I saying, you're not going to play me, you're going to take this guy with a third overall pick, I want to go to New England. I
gotta
want to
get the
go.
hell out of there.
But you want to go to New England if you're Jimmy? You're going to be like, yeah, I'll go and deal with Cam Newton, that name that you guys made seem, even though his numbers were putrid last year, like he's not a backup quarterback. If you're Jimmy, what do you think?
I think Jimmy, get me the hell out of San
Really?
Francisco.
Anywhere?
They just completely kneecapped me.
Yeah.
Like they don't believe in my future
Yeah.
whatsoever. If the Pats want to trade for me, I can deal with what's left of Cam Newton. I would want out.
This is fascinating.